Hello there and welcome to Pokemon Part 32, and here we arrive in Mistralton City. Or at least I think that's how it's pronounced. Now we'll just pop in the Pokemon Center here and just talk to this guy. Now, apparently this guy will teach one of your Pokemon Hidden Power, which is a move which does a different amount of damage or different type based on your Pokemon's secret stats or something. Unfortunately, I can't really tell you how it really works. I think it's like if it's like a bug type, then the Hidden Power will be like a poison type move, I think, or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of like a random move. Or like you can, I'm sure there's somewhere online where you can enter in a Pokemon stats, and it will tell you what Hidden Power would be. Now to the house to the right here, we have these move people here. Now I talked about this earlier. Now this person, if you give her a heart scale, she will teach one of your Pokemon a move they've either forgotten or they could have learnt at a lower level. So if you erase a move, but then like have second thoughts about it, that can be really useful actually. And of course the old man up there was the move deleter. Again, if you want a HM deleted from your Pokemon's moveset, then yeah, you talk to that guy. Oh, hello there. And here we meet the gym leader of this town. No, not the guy there, but the rather scantily clad woman behind him. Hello, Mr. Cedric Juniper. Yep, the sort of father figure of Juniper, our loyal professor. So I guess that means that Juniper's quite young, out of all the Pokemon professors. And he's just letting us know about alternate forms. Oh, hello, Skylar. Of course, you can tell she's a sort of a pilot, I think. But of course, in typical anime fashion, she has this sort of very fan-servicey type of design, where she's got like really short hot pants. And again, like I said before, all the gyms have a second function, or nearly all of them. And in this town's case, it is an airport, or at least a hangar bay. And this town's got pretty cool music. It's very upbeat, very adventurous. Now, unfortunately, we can't just go face her immediately. She wants to ring a bell at a tower or something. This is reminiscent of the sort of... I've forgotten a name, but it's sort of like the steel gym in Pokemon Gen 2. When before facing the gym leader, you had to go up a lighthouse. But you know, at least that was to heal a Pokemon. This is just to ring a bell. Anyway, I just wanted to take a quick look around here. It's nice to see different vehicles in Pokemon, you know, besides the occasional ship. Like you see a plane here, and you know, this map also has a few trucks. It just makes the world seem a bit more fresh. Now, something I should point out, that after you defeat the gym leader of this town, you talk to some kids in a house, which is near the top of the town, and then you come back out on the runway, and there will actually be the TM aerial ice waiting here for you. Now, you see this sort of brown pieces of ground here? I actually thought they might be berry planting areas. But no, I guess you can't really plant berries in this game, or at least it's something you can only do after the game is over or something. And that was Skydrop. Although when it comes to flying move, I just end up mainly using a fly, of course. Now, I will say, of course, she's going to use flying type Pokemon, and this town is sort of represented with an airport, and I guess that's an appropriate choice for to represent flying type. Although it is, honestly, it is kind of obvious. Although I don't know what else you could use to represent a flying type in terms of locations. Maybe a balloon factory? Question mark. An aviary? A cloud museum? And I talked to these guys here, and I did get the sharp beak, which pairs with flying type moves. Other than that, I don't think this area really does anything. But anyway, quick cut to me to the top of the town, and we're on Route 7. Now you can see this route has these sort of pathways you see there, and essentially you just walk across them, and the idea is if you run too fast you fall off or something. Not really that much of a challenge, really. But anyway, we have a battle now. Okay, Parker, let's see what you got. Palpitoad. Now you can see his Pokemon are like level 29 and mine's about 31. And the thing is, because I took the time and did all those other routes. Oh no, I'm thinking of after. I'm getting these parts mixed up. I was going to point out I seem to be over-leveled at this point, but I'm not. That's a little while after. Because yes, in a while we get the HM Surf, and once we get that, it really opens up the game. Anyway, I think this is the Pokemon I wanted to show off in this battle, Scolipede, who's rather, I must say, he's really cool looking. He looks really cool, like really vicious and mean, and I do like his colour scheme of red and purple. Kind of reminds me of Magneto. And again, I guess a bug type will be useful in this game because there's a Psychic Elite Four and a Dark Elite Four. But saying that, the thing is with Pokemon, the scarier looking Pokemon aren't really that bad. Well, I guess that isn't always true. Especially now that they've introduced a Fairy type that can beat Dragon types. I love that, by the way. Because honestly, Dragon types needed another weakness. Oh, and Poison types will also apparently beat Fairy types, which I'm pleased about. Because again, Poison types needed another advantage. And I was thinking this would be really cool to use against Garchomp. But then I remember that Garchomp can probably learn Poison Jab, and he's still pretty fast. So I guess all those Dragon types will still be overpowered. Although it will make a quite interesting meta game, because essentially all these Dragon Pokemon will have to learn at least one Poison type move to keep the Fairy types at bay. I do wonder, and there probably will be a Fairy Dragon type. Speaking of which, like I said, I do like the introduction of the Fairy type, and it does seem natural. It does seem like a type that has already been there. And Scolipede has a really awesome move there, Poison Touch. But like I was saying, the Fairy type, it's good, but I wish they hadn't called it Fairy type, just because it seems a bit girly. I know. Maybe if they just call it Light type, or if they did call it Fairy type in Japan, they called it Light type for the West. Like I know they're called Dark types. I know Dark types are called something like Evil types in Japan. So yeah, they translated Evil to Dark types. They could have translated Fairy to Light. Who knows? Oh, and that's Shelmet as well. I forgot to mention that guy. He looks pretty cool. He's like a little knight. And his evolved form looks really cool. And we'll be seeing that later on in the game. Oh boy, thank you. Charge beam. Yeah, now, if I recall, charge beam is sort of like a low-powered move, but it does raise your special attack. So it does sound good for long, drawn-out battles. We have a trade here, a Boldor for an Emolga. Whatever. You know, keep your Pikachu rip-off. I don't need your mascots. Now this guy here, he will give us a triple battle. I just thought I'd warn you about that. Yeah, I do like to clear out all the trainers in a single route. It's just worth doing for the experience. But luckily, until you get to the Elite Four, Pokemon games don't usually tend to require a lot of grinding. Okay, this battle here, he ends up sending out to Solaris, or she does. Of course, the Pokemon Rangers, you see them here as trainers. I guess they are trying to feed into the Pokemon Ranger series. Yeah, which doesn't really appeal to me. I'd rather catch Pokemon and just, you know, battle them with them normally. You know, I don't want to be like sort of drawing circles around Pokemon to catch them. Now, this Pokemon I wanted to show off is Axu. Now, I guess you could compare him to the Dratini of the game. You know, sort of like a dragon Pokemon that you level up and becomes like a really powerful dragon type. While I was saying that, his final form, I don't think it's on the same level as, say, Dragonite or Garchomp. Yep, there he goes. Now you can see on the graphics here that during the winter you can catch a Cubchoo. Now this area isn't too important at the moment, but yeah, we'll be seeing it later on. It does get a little more significant. And again, yeah, you can see this generation really likes to have these houses which heal all your Pokemon. But anyway, join me in the next part where we'll be heading to Celestial Tower. Join me then.